Welcome to Chronic Combat Conversations, a live look at our best bets, picks, and predictions for every UFC event. With your hosts, TB Scouting MMA and
The Guru, back again for UFC San Antonio, also known as UFC on ESPN 43, your bantamweight title contender eliminator. Cory, the Sandman Sandhagen. I think that's no. Is it? I think it is. Taking on Marlon Cheeto Vera. I may have pulled the TV and made up a nickname for him. I'm not fully sure. But either way, this is the other half of that bantamweight title contender eliminator, right? You had Peter Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili a couple weeks ago, and now you get the second half of that right here, right now on Saturday. But before we can get into that, we've got an unbelievable guest in the building. No stranger to cashing checks, no stranger to being on this show. I mean, we'd safe to say he's family. Wizz Bets, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you.
Boys, thank you for having me on. Excited for this card. Although lacks the name value, it's still going to be fun. It's still some violence that we get on a Saturday evening or early afternoon.
Dude, I can't wait, man.
I really can't wait. Like this fight is if you're, I always hate to say it, but like if you're not a casual, like if you're like a legit fan, like you know these guys, and if you don't know, you should be watching because this main event is gonna be a masterpiece of strikers, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and if you don't know, as Dana would say, now you know. It's like that Michael Scott, like Biggie Smalls / Dana White. If you don't know, now you know. It's like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. It's like Dana White ripped that one.
And on that note, if you've got it, spark it. If you've got it, crack it. Let's get right down to business.
Fuck it. Yeah, man. And listen, we love you people. Do us a solid. Throw a little like on the video here. Subscribe. Getting the wine poured up. Guru's cracking. What you got? A nooner over there?
I got the new tequila seltzer nooners.
Ow.
So instead of the vodka soda, it's a tequila soda. And this strawberry, I mean, I literally feel like I'm at a strawberry patch. I mean, this is
baby.
Come on,
yeah, those were mad good. I tried one of those limey boys last week. That was pretty solid, bro.
Yeah, man, they creep. They creep.
Show.
Yeah,
it would work out perfectly high noon. Come on, bro.
I know, right? We got to reach out to Dave Portnoy. We gotta get on the Barstool wave. Robbie Barstool, come on, bro.
Lou Betcha needs a bet that pays at least $17,650. All right, we got you covered, man. Don't worry. And we got Mushroom in the chat as always. Love all you people. Make sure you let us know what your best bet is because we're about to lock and load, baby. And Guru, I'm going to give you a pass. Cory Sandhagen, no official nickname on UFC stats. So
wow,
you did the right thing there, okay?
The Sandman.
Enter the Sandman.
Let's go. Love it. Guru, Wiz coming together. And TB's going to bring it on home here. We got Marlon Cheeto Vera plus 150 against Cory Sandhagen minus 175. I feel like Cheeto should be like at least 36 years old for how many fights he has in the UFC. It's fucking incredible, but they're the same fucking age. Cory Sandhagen was on the kickboxing scene before he ended up, breaking into the UFC, and into the MMA scene. So I think we're dealing with an MMA lifer versus, one of the most technical, beautiful strikers we've ever seen from distance. I mean, Cory Sandhagen, the dude throws 17 strikes per minute at distance, and he's landing 7. And this is a guy that has 126 minutes of UFC fight time. So you want to talk about one of the pace masters. He does it at 42%, and his defense is great too. So I got to say, Cory Sandhagen, he's a magician out there. But Cheeto, that dude, since going over to Ruka Sport, I mean, damn, his boxing's like, he was always like a nasty striker, but I feel like his boxing technique and his footwork has just really come along recently. And he connects it all with his kicks, as always. That was kind of the missing piece, was a bit more of like a technical boxing approach. And am I crazy for saying I think Cheeto's actually solid in the fucking center, bro?
Moving to Jason Perillo's camp absolutely revolutionized the way he throws a punch. And you've seen it. You've seen the devastation across this winning streak. So, I
Right.
mean, TB, are you still going with your breakdown? You
Yeah,
handing it
man.
off?
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day here, I know what the numbers say. I know what it says, but I don't know any human being that wants to be locked in a cage with Cheeto Vera for 25 minutes. And I mean, listen, we could go a little narrative city. We could say whatever we want about past Cory Sandhagen performances. The matter of the fact is, the only way this guy's ever been finished is by submission. But that wasn't the only ever time that he got put in a deep choke. So if I'm gonna get a little crazy, I think the Cheeto's got a chance to snatch the back here. Cory Sandhagen, every time he gets up, every time he's on the mat and he's working back to his feet, or he throws a spinning attack, he gives up his back. And Cheeto's showing some of the slickest back takes. I mean, you go back, watch that Andre Ewell back take. Like, it was either end of round 1 or 2. I've never seen someone like sidestep a strike, get to the back, get a violent choke. And I'm not saying, okay, listen, I know it's Andre
Very,
Ewell.
very
I
similar
get it.
body type though to your crazy tinfoil hat theory point.
Right. So apparently TB's echoing. I have no idea why that is. I appreciate you, Mushroom.
I don't. Oh, didn't hear it on my end.
To the
Hopefully.
people. So
Oh,
who knows?
not the
But
people. That's horrible.
I want to apologize if I am. But at the end of the day here, I think Cheeto at plus 150, Cheeto inside the distance, or me fucking playing Cheeto sub at plus 650 as it moves to plus 850. Hope you guys waited and play it, at that point. But I think Cory Sandhagen's not going to get knocked out by strikes.
So
I think he could get hurt, but I think a club and sub is more likely than seeing Cory Sandhagen finish. So, but I think you can scale it any which way you want. But I got to be on Cheeto this week, man. I gotta.
These boys, I'll even start by saying these boys are both absolutely tough as nails, gamers, dogs. They got that dog, however you want to put that, right? These guys, absolutely two of the best, most technical strikers in the UFC. Cory Sandhagen, unbelievably unconventional in the way that he can switch stances, change his movements, throw spinning attacks. I mean, you said it all there, TB. One of the things that I think you highlighted well, and it's one of the things that I think Cheeto Vera does extremely well, is that Cory Sandhagen in the TJ Dillashaw fight, he's making fight IQ mistakes, whether it's spinning when he shouldn't, shooting when he shouldn't, not getting up versus an injured TJ when he should be, right? Rolling on the ground there. He just was making some of those technical mistakes that, whichever way you want to call Robert. I mean, I don't agree with any of that stuff. Close fight. But to me, when you had an injured fighter and you had the ability to have those changes and you don't make those adjustments, I see it as a problem. And I see Cheeto Vera as a guy that it just is absolutely devastating as he turns it on. Yes, he's a slow starter, but just not somebody you want to make a mistake with. He's somebody like Alexa Grasso is doing the commentator stuff as well, seeing the octagon from another angle, just doing all the right things. And
A plus fucking point, Guru. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
that's fire.
I kind of thought about
I love
it
Alexa Grasso.
Yeah, and listen, and she pulled off something incredible. So I just think that Cheeto, we all know Cheeto's a dog. We know Cheeto is rightfully the underdog because Cory Sandhagen will be the minute winner, and that's how it has to be. He was Dominic Cruz is the minute winner versus Cheeto Vera. So that's what anybody that's betting Sandhagen, and most likely betting Sandhagen by decision here because Cheeto Vera's never been finished. That's how you're handicapping it. You're just expecting Cory Sandhagen to outpace him, and Marlon never lands that shot. But let me just be quite clear with you. If it's fairly even on the feet, and sure, Sandhagen is winning the minutes, but Marlon is still somehow able to win the moments, you could hear some Sunday bullshit chatter. Oh, it was a robbery, blah, 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 and Cheeto wins a close split or something.
Right. You know what? This fight is like, whose line is it anyways? The stats are made up and they don't matter. It's like the one fight where you could just throw them out the window.
No, I don't. Listen, I wouldn't go that far, but I would say that the finishing equity is in Cheeto, and I would say that if you like, I like the Cheeto by submission, grandma's couch cushion play plus 850, and otherwise, listen, I don't hate anybody going Cory Sandhagen and Sandhagen by decision, but I'll be quite honest, that's all I hear. But it's been like 7-8 minutes, way too long. Please, Wiz, take me away. I don't know why I did that. That's secret. I don't know. We're going. Let's go, Wiz. Let's go, Wiz. Come on.
Excellent breakdown from you guys. Here's the thing with this fight. The way I look at it is Cory Sandhagen, as you mentioned, great striker. He's probably going to be the better striker in this matchup. He's going to be the minute winner in this matchup. He does have the moment winning potential, and I think that's what a lot of people are overlooking. The man is finishing his fights at a 63% rate, if I remember correctly. 33% by knockout and 20% actually by submission. So that's 53%. My bad. But yeah, he's an equal opportunity finisher. It's 50-50 in these fights. Obviously, Cheeto hasn't been finished in the UFC cage for a little bit. So it's like you got to think that Cory's only path to victory is decision. But I tend to disagree with that analysis just because of his track record and being able to outpace people. Yeah, I get it. Cheeto does have the cardio to go with it. So it's not like he's going to fall off of a cliff. Let's not forget, in that fight with Don Cruz, who won the first 3 rounds? I mean, it was almost unanimous on the scorecards that Dominic won almost all 3 rounds. So you really got to worry about Cheeto when he's going up against someone that's younger in age, by a lot than Dominic Cruz at least, and has that crazy durability that we've seen in the octagon in Cory Sandhagen. I don't think he's going to be able to find that kill shot. I think if you want to find a finish here, you probably want to take a long shot and bet on the Sandhagen submission. That's what I personally am looking at for a long shot play. I'm forgetting the odds off the top of my head for that submission line. But for me, I'm all over Cory Sandhagen in this fight. If you got him at that plus 150 to plus 155 range, once it hit that key resistance support number, you did well. And even at this current price around minus 170, I think it's still fine. So give me Cory Sandhagen. I think he does win by decision, but I wouldn't sleep on the finishing potential.
All right. I could totally see that. And like we said, I mean, listen, when I was originally breaking down this fight with Guru, just looking at the stats on the paper, I mean, that's straight up what I told him. I said, we might not want to say it, but I think Cory might just win a decision if everything plays out the right way. But I mean, it's that gut feeling. It's that ultimate kickback that sometimes you just got to listen to. And
I'm just not sold. And again, I really like Cory. It's the kind of guy you kind of want to get a beer with and just like chop it up. He's got an interesting perspective on life. I just think that like Song Yadong, right? He finishes Song Yadong and with, by the way, doctor stoppage cut. And Song Yadong just wants to stand right in front of you and brawl. And we knew that. And then what? Then he knocks out Frankie Edgar, the corpse of Frankie Edgar. I'm sorry, buddy. And who? Marlon Moraes, who gets concussed when his head hits the pillow. I'm not sold. Yes, and you want to go all the way back to Mario Batista's submission? Yeah, that was slick, dog. That's cool. But kid's young, he made a mistake. Everybody does that. I think that fight would be a little bit more interesting if it played out again now, even though it's just 4 years later. Just like I'm sure Cory Sandhagen would think his fight with Aljamain Sterling, if it played out now, would happen differently. And that's fine. That's the game. But I just think Marlon's too fucking tough. So I understand all that. And I'm leaning with the dog just because I think he's got that metal, man. Like I said, Sandhagen, I felt maybe wilted a little in that TJ fight. And that's really it. Right? I mean, in the Jan fight, where he just kind of got downloaded by a guy that started slow and got picked apart and hurt. Tough guy. We wasn't in jeopardy of being finished ever. We weren't worried about that. But I mean, Jan put work on him. Difference, of course, would be Cheeto Vera probably has less pace than Jan, but tell that to Marab.
Yeah, I get it. And Wiz, any last points before we carry on along here to our amazing co-main event?
No last points. Or actually, I mean, I just think I'm just gonna reiterate the striking difference with these guys. One guy lands a million strikes per minute, and then the other guy is just waiting for a kill shot. Look at that Dominic Cruz fight and count the significant strikes in those 4 or 3.5.
Oh, dude, I remember watching
89 to 54, and he outthrows 245 to 146. So
almost doubles them.
Yeah, I mean, you see that also against Rob Font. Rob Font legitimately throws double the strikes, 496 strikes. Frankie Edgar, underthrows for that.
And that's interesting because
Frankie Edgar.
because Cory Sandhagen doubles up Song Yadong.
Listen, even Davy Grant outlands Cheeto Vera, but it's so obvious by the end
Look
of
at
the
that.
fight who
He
wins it.
also, but that's just Cory Sandhagen's game, whether it works or not. He throws 443 strikes to Peter Yan's 252. He's gone he will outpace him. It's just whether he'll outdamage him.
Right.
And that is going to be quite interesting. And that's what makes it the main event and why I can't fucking wait for it.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
All right. Well, now that we spent plenty of time on the main event,
It deserved it.
it did because this is the co-main event,
And it's going to get way less.
It's getting 1 minute or less from TB. So we got Holly, the preacher's daughter, Holm.
6-fight, new contract. New
worst
contract
fucking
for a
nickname.
41-year-old.
Fucking terrible.
She's the
Why
preacher's
are
daughter.
we doing this? Terrible. Versus Yana.
30 seconds left.
Fox. Fuck you, Guru. This is the intro. This isn't the breakdown.
Yana Santos. You were about to say Kunitskaya. Yana Santos.
Foxy. No, I was going to say Foxy. Or Fox? The Fox? What is it?
It's something Fox. Arctic
right.
Fox? I'm pulling
Anyways, we better be careful if Tiago's listening. So we're going to move on. Yeah. Foxy later. So.
What the fuck? Are you good? Foxy, are you good? It's literally, you're right. It's actually, it's just Foxy. Fine.
All right. See, I was trying to find what it was, bro. Anyways,
Fine.
now that I only have 5 seconds left for the breakdown, it's going to be a clinch fuck fest.
3, 2,
I want to say fight
1.
goes the distance, but Holly could knock her out because Yana's coming off pregnancy, and I hate that angle. So it's Holly, whichever way you want to cut it, but don't fucking bet her.
Yeah, right. Because especially after the Vieira fight, it's just fuck that shit. The problem for Yana, even though you kind of want to think about it at plus 205, is that she's obviously control dependent, right? 47% control time in her fights of her opponents, which is wonderful. And even her pace at distance stats, right, looks decent, right? All those strikes landed look decent. But the problem is she's only striking 32% of the time. So you're really not seeing her do much striking, A, or B, do much of fighting when she's not in control. Problem for this fight is that Holly Holm has spent 5% of her fight time, all that fight time being controlled by opponents. My point being is you're not just going to sit there and control Holly Holm. So I don't really like it, especially off the pregnancy. I lean Holly Holm decision, but why you would want to play your hard-earned money on this fight? Again, you're degen, you want a little bit of action? Sure, play a little bit of action. Nothing too crazy, everybody. What, Wizz, you bet of the year here? What do you got?
Yeah. 500 units on Holly Holm. Come on, no doubt. Lock. It's like at this point, why is this the co-main event? I can name like 2 other fights that deserve to be the co-main event instead of this fight.
Legitimately, almost 12 other fights based on potential action.
Yeah, like how isn't Tamir's Vidal versus Haley Cowan the co-main event?
Oh my God.
Honestly, it's the lower level Holly Holm. So you know what? You're right.
I don't know. Listen, man. Daniel Pineda, Tucker Lutz. That could be a co-main event anytime, anywhere.
Action potential, bro.
Yeah, this has action right all over. Yeah,
Oh,
this is
God.
gonna be 2 girls flipping each other on the cage, throwing rib shots, close dirty boxing rib shots for 15 minutes.
Thank God it's not. Don't you dare! Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby! Don't you do that to me? Because you know, fight day, Cory Sandhagen will get sick, and they will move that to the main event, and that's what we will have to.
Oh God!
Oh.
I don't want to put that. I went too far. I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
Listen, you don't have tickets to San Antonio.
You to a dark place there.
Yeah, geez, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see with this fight. You have the vet and Holly Holm going up against Yana Santos, who also hasn't had the most impressive UFC career. But they're trying to sell you an expired product with Holly Holm. I think she's a little bit too much past her prime. I'm not going to say she's losing this fight, though, because it's Yana Santos. And at the end of the day, I feel like almost anyone on the roster can beat Yana Santos. No disrespect. She could probably beat my ass. But I just got to go with Holly Holm. I think she's going to be able to get that control time against the cage and throw a little bit more strikes. She's proven to throw more strikes in the UFC. So at least throughout the sample size of what we used to know Holly Holm as being. And I'm like, I just can't envision a scenario that Yana Santos wins a decision here. I just think it's Holly Holm all day. Am I laying any money on this fight? Probably not. I think it goes 3 rounds. So the over, I mean, probably a safe parlay piece. I don't think any girl here has much finishing potential. So yeah, I mean, I think Holly Holm wins over 2.5, but no money going into this fight. As I said, I cannot. It's exactly as Daz said. It's Holm's fight to lose.
But dude, she knocked out Ronda Rousey. Are you?
Oh God. Oh God.
So
dude, imagine though. Imagine.
So the only reason I think that there's like somewhat potential, and I will not play Holly Holm decision at -115, is because Yana is coming off the pregnancy. So and like she got knocked out like while she was like 2 or 3 months pregnant. So it's like I'm just saying crazier shit has happened.
What?
I'm just saying. I mean, listen, Holly Holm at this point is almost like Dricus Duplessis roller skates level of combos when she's running forward, though. It's almost that bad. She's so stiff and so slow at this point. It's not great.
Love it.
Yes. All right. So I think we did that one. Yeah.
That's
all right.
funny.
This one, honestly, should be the fucking co-main event.
I mean, should it though?
Nate the Train. Listen, I'd rather hear Nate scream Dana's name for 15 minutes than watch Holly Holm grunt, Dana. Fuck, man. But okay. Listen, a guy that gets outstruck 103 to 96 from distance against Darren Elkins should not be a -225 favorite in the year 2023 of our Lord. I love Nate Landwehr. I love Nate Landwehr. However, it's not worth it. Okay. I want to give a shout out. I think it was Piglord MMA, whoever I think is the guy that tweeted it, but you bet Nate Landwehr when he's +200, not -200.
Right.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
The stats say even, the wrestling, all that. Yeah, sure. Nate should do it. But I mean, Austin comes to bang and he's actually got a lot more technical boxing than Nate does. Especially defense. But yeah, Austin's got some power. He comes out of Fortis, so he's out of a good gym. He actually had to cut weight a couple weeks ago, but now he's cutting weight again as his partner last time decided to come in 10 pounds overweight.
Good job, Ricardo Ramos.
Yeah, real fucking nice, dog. And I feel like we're getting like Nate Landwehr is really on like 2 or 3 weeks notice for this fight. I mean, he didn't have anything booked up to this point. And
he was supposed to fight Alex Caceres. That's not true.
Okay. Well, definitely a reason why he's the favorite in this spot, but I just don't think he should be like. I thought Ricardo Ramos had more finishing upside than a guy like Nate, and that's why I was willing to trust him at that number, especially playing submission prop. But I might have to take the dog shot on Lingo at +190.
I understand where you're going. But I want to go with your fade the narrative idea, but I want to dial it back a half a tick.
Right. I mean, the pick is Nate.
Well,
but I'm thinking about
I don't understand.
Shots.
No, chill.
All right, fair.
All right, so what I think, right, is especially based on some of the things you highlighted, I think that Nate Landwehr gets it done. I think that his pace and overall just general dog craziness and even his ability to possibly mix in some wrestling, although with Lingo's 80% takedown defense, I'm not necessarily convinced that he's going to get too many takedowns on him. Although, again, who's shooting against? He gave up 6 of 12 to Yusuf Zalal, and that one he went one. Kilburn went 1 of 18, and that dude's not UFC caliber. And Saldana went 0 of 5, and that dude's not a wrestler. So yeah, that's at 80%, but it doesn't really mean much of anything. I think Nate should be able to get a takedown if he really wants one. And what I do think is more interesting is playing the over, right? Kind of fading the narrative in these two quote unquote finishers in or at least a crazy man in Nate Landwehr, right? I think Austin Lingo's a guy that's been to decision enough times as well as Nate, honestly, even in their most recent fights. Nate just went, even though it was a barn burner where he was nearly dead, that majority decision with David Onama. And then before that, even he chokes out Ludwig Klein, in round 3 there. So I just think that something like that could be an interesting shot, even just fight to start round 3, where you're probably getting closer to even money. But Austin Lingo, decent boxer. That's basically where he wants to be. And that's the fight that Landwehr's mostly going to give him. And that is kind of the problem, essentially, with laying minus 225 on Landwehr. So while I don't want to lay the chalk there, I'm on Landwehr money line. I can't come around to plus 190 on Lingo because I don't really see him finishing him.
I do like that over 2.5 plus 100.
Yeah, or even whatever it is, fight to start round 3 will probably be something interesting.
What do you got, Wiz?
Here's the thing with this fight. You guys brought it up earlier. Is Nate Landwehr Ricardo Ramos? There's a quick answer to that. And if it's not quick, then I don't know what's going on in your head.
Very different skill sets, yeah.
Very different skill sets, very different level of MMA. Yeah. And I'll just be straight up. Nate Landwehr is a good nail, not a hammer. He's a good underdog, not a favorite, like historically in the UFC. Now, I do think his pressure might be able to break Austin Lingo down the stretch. But do you want to back Nate Landwehr, who's been a plus 300, plus 250 to 300, maybe even more sometimes in his past 3 fights? What warrants him to be a minus 250, 260 favorite at the moment? I struggle to see
nothing.
Where
it's recency bias, exactly. I mean, it's his last 2 wins. It's recency bias. And Ludwig Klein is such a fraud, dude. Like, right, with his gassing out in what was it, last week?
Damn it, Guru! Let this man cook.
I know. I'm just adding with him. Go, man, go.
He's throwing in ingredients into the
by all means, because I was bringing up similar points, and I was about to say the same exact thing. Like, Ludwig Klein is a fraud. We've seen that. We've seen that Jai Herbert, how Jai Herbert just pieced him the fuck up, and that wasn't supposed to be a draw if it weren't for that point deduction. He was getting pieced up. And you look at other opponents, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, David Onama, sure, he's a good striker, but he gasses out. So that's not like that impressive of a win. The early fight, yeah, I get it. Elkins outpacing Elkins. These are decent wins, sure, but they're not high level competition to where I'm confident that there's that big of a skill gap at minus 250, 260 on Landwehr between him and Lingo. So in no way in betting terms, I can like lay the juice or even parlay Nate Landwehr. It's more of a shot on Austin Lingo here. But again, 100%. Cutting weight twice is never my favorite thing to do. So this is just another pass for me, unfortunately. Like I wish I could give you more on this one. Yeah, it's too risky of a bet. If it was, and you guys know me, I like my parlays. This is not a fighter to put in a 2-man or man parlay.
Yeah. No, we'll get to those pieces though. There's some coming.
Money up. With your money, it's absolutely got to be on the dog, 100%. I didn't want anything to do with the favorite on this, and I especially want to see weigh-ins. If Lingo looks like really really ready to rock, maybe I even go with him with the pick. So consider me totally and completely totally not sold on Nate Landwehr. Like, no part of me is sold there.
No, for sure. And I got you'll see the official Tapology pick, the official Bet MMA as we see weigh-ins and what these guys look like, the double weight cut, all that. So, but yeah, I think Austin Lingo is tickling my interest. So we'll certainly be taking a look. That's for
especially with the way that Nate takes damage, man. And Lingo, again, with Nate's going to give him the fight that he wants in the striking department. Austin Lingo's boxing is crisp. It's how he's a martial artist. It's what's got him here. So, he can, if he starts to really hurt Nate on the feet and doesn't gas like Onama, you win, and as opposed to losing like Onama did. So, let's go.
Yeah. All right. So, Got our next
Oh
fight.
my god.
All right. We got we have
So which
Andrea
one of you has a crush on Macy Barber?
has what?
Has a crush?
No, I think it's more just a general hatred of Andrea Lee. And also, I honestly was a gigantic Macy Barber hater for a while. I cashed out on Roxy. Dead ass. Dead ass, like plus 800 or whatever. It was like a $5 bet, let's be real. But yeah, it's still a winner. But listen, Andrea, KGB, the Nazi Lee versus Macy, the future Barber. Listen, bro, when you marry a neo-Nazi and then the next person you get with is Tony Kelly, I mean, you got to type. I'll just put it that way, okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
And the dude has, he was an abuser, whatever. All right, and you go to fucking Tony Kelly is the next one? Come on, bro.
All that forehead and no brain, it's too bad.
Oh, geez, it's a damn shame. Larger cranium doesn't mean smarter, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
We'd like that one. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so anyways, Andrea Lee, man, like, I get it. She's got pace. She's got solid enough striking. She's got solid enough offensive wrestling. She's got solid enough grappling, but the optics are terrible. Her mouthpiece is always falling out. She's always kind of flailing around
because she's literally a mouth breather.
Legitimately, yeah.
Another Dreyfus.
Oh my god.
Quite frankly, so like honestly, I get like this is another one of those Macy Barber minus 260 in this economy. Come on, Joe Biden, inflation's getting out of control.
Oh my god.
The same thing with Holly Holm. Like, listen, the prices are fucking crazy, but is that who's gonna win the fight by decision?
Parlay them both to win a decision with grandma's couch cushion, and you move along with your life.
There you go.
Because they probably both win, but why do you want to do this to yourself? Why?
Right.
We got a number for you. It's 1-800-GAMBLER. Wiz, what do you got?
Man, I really like the Macy Barber side this week. Andrea Lee is a punching bag. I mean, we saw in that last fight, She looked horrible. She was getting beat on, and it was ruthless.
Wait, so, Roxy was able to win a striking battle with her.
Yeah. Well, I get it. Macy Barber, those two losses are pretty bad. She was a favorite. And,
listen, that was before she was the future. That was the past. This is the future.
She was the future. She acknowledged how she just was not playing to the best of her abilities. She was not fighting to the best of her abilities. And after those two losses, we saw and during this 3-fight win streak that she's improved her game. She's looked a lot better and more motivated. Before those 2 fights where she lost, she was going out there and she was not looking all that inspiring. She wasn't really winning decisively. And then she bounced back pretty well after the 2 losses. And it looks like she's taking this MMA thing a little bit more serious. I guess she matured over that period of time because she's still pretty young. Yeah, man. I think Macy Barber is the rightful favorite here. I think she has the opportunity to win inside the distance here as well because Andrea Lee, we've seen when she gets hurt and she's on bottom, she doesn't do anything. She doesn't offer anything off of her back either. She just gets hit. And Macy Barber loves to ground and pound. Her ground and pound's pretty nasty. I think she does get this done via ground and pound inside the distance. Yeah, you're Macy Barber.
I would just love to see her actually get just to watch her actually beat the piss out of her. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be exciting.
But yeah, that's interesting. Macy Barber. Yeah, I mean, she did have a couple finishes there. I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Whoa. You're getting extreme, Guru. You don't mind it. Oh my God. It's not that he doesn't hate it. He doesn't mind this one. Wow. He really, really likes this one. Holy fuck. But yeah, hey, I really, you know what? If you find a good Macy prop on inside the distance and it's crazy, I'm down for that. Totally.
And define crazy. How crazy do you think you're gonna get on a minus 260?
Well, I think given that she's won a bunch of fights by decision, like if we could get like a plus 200 on it, I'd be down. What do you got
That's
on it?
interesting. I'm not sure.
Let's see. By knockout is plus 350. That's interesting as fuck.
Plus, yeah, I knew you were gonna get
distance-
better than that. Yeah, inside the distance. Yeah, you probably
inside
don't
the
wanna get-
distance is plus 275. Give me that.
Wow.
Actually,
That's an
Okay.
interesting shot right there.
just a little shot, like nothing crazy. It's
I like it.
I
He
love it.
Did you hear that? He likes it.
of it.
He likes it. Yeah.
Whoa! You got to tone it down. You're getting a little crazy by actually actively liking something on this show. That's
Whoa! I said he likes it.
Yeah.
He likes it.
Jesus.
She's starting to use that forehead. She has the
Oh
big,
my
the
God.
brain. She's starting to use it.
Macy's gonna overtake her with her own forehead. She's the future of foreheads
This is gonna be
in
my
the UFC.
Oh God!
She
All right,
move her one with her brain.
Listen, I gotta chill. I have a huge forehead, so it's
right.
It's all good. We're
It's
all
about
out. We're all
pots
out to
calling
Do you
kettles
see
black.
this thing? Do you see this thing?
No, bro, I got the 5 head, bro. It's legit out here. Crazy.
Oh,
I
God.
defer.
But it always has been.
All right, so
TV's got like 3 over there, but he's got a huge head.
yeah, my head is gigantic. Yeah. So we got Alex Perez plus 150 versus Manel Starboy Kape minus 175.
Starboy.
Stop.
Before we even get into this, is this fight gonna happen?
No.
No.
Hold on.
Alex Perez will miss weight.
It's like
Or
the
be
fact
sick.
of the matter is that Alex Perez is okay when he's the hammer. Like he's okay when he has a athleticism, physicality, striking advantage, wrestling advantage. The second you're actually better than him in any of those departments, it's a fucking mess and it's game over. And that's why he'll just tap out all the time, or he ends up getting knocked out by fucking Benavidez in 2018. That's a terrible look, bro. I don't care. I get it. I don't care. That's terrible. All right. Pantoja comes out, zero respect. None whatsoever. Right in his face, just said, fuck you. By the time I'm done with you, we're gonna just be 2 minutes.
That
into
was
this fight.
sick.
Davison Figueiredo just goes, I'll just jump Gilly. He cheated a little bit. There was a little fence grabbing there.
I
but
need
come on.
Pantoja versus Moreno immediately.
Manel Kape has this guy outclassed everywhere. Maybe besides wrestling defense.
Yeah. I mean, even still, Manel Kape is somebody that's even a decent enough wrestler grappler. Like, if you don't think that the dude is skilled there, go back and watch his one tape. Like, dude can scrap all over the place. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So don't think
agree,
that
man.
he's just gonna straight up. Alex Perez is gonna come out here, have his best weight cut ever, not get sick, show up, and beat a guy that's legitimately top 6 in the division, top 8 in the division. I mean, he really is.
All right. Call me a sicko, but Kape by submission is plus 600.
That's a little sicko mode.
No, bro. Did you see that
Did you check
Kimura's
Andor?
last fight?
That is
No, I didn't.
Clean.
You
They don't have it.
Perez
They
is
don't have
tapping immediately to the initial Kimura.
Yeah.
Like he's not getting to the shoulder outside the socket point.
no,
We're
that
not
is
getting
true.
that far.
I like it in terms of that, and I'm sure
He's
if we
got
can get-
5 submission losses, bro. He's
Yeah.
got 7 losses and 5 of them are by sub. Fuck that guy. Come on.
Those
No,
sub
you-
attempts were legit.
Wiz, yeah, what you got,
Nice.
dog? What do you got on
Dude,
that?
Kape all day for me.
Yeah.
I think Kape wins inside the distance. I think he makes Perez quit either way, whether it's the ground and pound TKO, submit him. I do like the sub shot. I wasn't thinking of that, but dude, now that you're speaking it, I definitely see the avenue for it. So I'm gonna have to join you there. Yeah, I think Manel Kape can get it done any which way he wants it. Perez is gonna be hella rusty just because he hasn't fought in so long. And
Oh my God.
we just gotta
on the line.
think about
There he is.
if we have to hope that he actually shows up. Shout out to the boys after the On the Line podcast. Those people are dope. I
I
love
got the
those
hoodie on, baby. I got the hoodie on right now.
Nice. Yes, sir. You gotta support.
Hell yeah. I don't know how to fucking
Yeah, so I just think Manel Kape is gonna win this fight inside the distance. Probably a knockout though. That's what he's most known for. His striking is very crisp, and I don't think Perez is gonna be able to hang with his striking.
One of my favorite things about this fight was just the money line on Kape. I thought he should be a bigger favorite, and I think that they're kind of anything under minus 200 is just sweet. So yeah, minus 170, minus 175 is something I'm interested in all day. And at the same token, I really like the inside the distance because Perez does, like they say, he does not seem to have that dog in him. I was just looking over Alex Perez's whole UFC career. If we just want to look at it really quick, because TB, you had even said earlier, you'd sent me the pictures you posted on Twitter. Like I'd like that submission idea as well. That submission angle is an interesting thought. But when you look at who he's fought, right, he's got losses to Pantoja, Figueiredo, and Benavidez. That's fine, I guess. Benavidez knockout is kind of not good, like you said, TB. But look at his wins, though. Like what are we pulling from? What really? Seriously, what's the good one? Is it Eric Shelton? Is it Jose Torres? Jordan Espinoza? Not a single win of a guy still in the UFC. Like for the last, I don't know, 2 years. So like since his last win, I mean even further, because he hasn't had a win in 3 years. So he's not getting a win on Saturday. I really like Manel Kape.
Kape, crazy, well, not crazy, but plus submission, plus money props that will hit similar to Gunner's sub last week. Kape inside the distance plus 120. Gotta smash that.
Somebody has to be like, somebody call the cop.
Yeah,
y'all are done with me. Like, here's your last time on the show.
I love that.
Somebody call the cop, but not for me.
Nah, hell yeah, man, get it. He's a motherfucking star boy. That's the thing, though. I love that he's a showman. I just don't want him to showboat too long or show off too long. And then, like, I know, like you said, though, David Dvorak is just he's literally the Undertaker. He's so tough. So, but I just would have liked him to go back for a submission with a guy that only had one shoulder, one arm.
The one breakdown that was most common in that fight, if we go ahead and think back, it was, will Manel Kape actually throw his hands and throw volume? And what did he do in that fight? He showed that new wrinkle where he was throwing volume and he was letting hands go, because from the tape before that fight, we remember Manel Kape being the guy that is just looking for a kill shot, and it was very low volume. So showing that wrinkle of throwing all the volume and lasting with Dvorak, because we knew Dvorak is going to stay there until the very end. It showed that he can throw his hands and be accurate and win minutes. That's the thing that we were lacking information on, if he can consistently win the minutes. And I know it's only one fight, but those 3 rounds were very solid against a decent striker.
One more thing to even that point. Even if you want to be a hater and say Manel Kape doesn't throw enough, which again, he attempted his second most strikes ever in his last fight, which is the point Wizz is just making. But look at Alex Perez. He has only thrown 100 strikes, over 100 strikes one time. He has only landed above 26 strikes one time. Do you and it was against Jose exactly. It's against Jose Torres. Do you think he's going to throw over 100 strikes and land over 50 strikes versus Manel Kape?
Yeah.
It's dude, and do you know how many people I've seen on Perez this week?
It's a little disgusting, but for a fight that's not even going to happen, we should keep this train rolling.
Because I can almost get it in theory because of the wrestling, but like it's not there.
All right, Guru, let's go. First off, just want to say how much I appreciate everyone here in the chat watching the show right now. You put up with me and Guru on a weekly basis. We bring in the awesome guests that you guys actually can have a really good time with us. But honestly, like I do this shit not only because of how much I love it, but like you guys have made this such an awesome community to be a part of. And there's a big reason why I got into MMA and betting. I'm sure I'll post a little more about it in the future here, but I wouldn't really be as into this if it wasn't for all you guys. So just wanted to give a shout out, everyone. So hell yeah. Next fight here, baby. We got chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. I love you. All right, so Chitty and Njokuani, chitty chitty bang bang versus Albert. I get knocked down once a fight, Duraev. So are you going to survive the knockdown against Chitty? Because it's going to happen. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. He's got 3 times knocked down in 2 fights, whether it's from distance with the 5-inch reach advantage for Chitty, or it's in the clinch with Wizz. What were you just doing over there? Oh my God. Oh, the people's elbow. Ah! So, yeah, I think Chitty has got this shit covered by knockout just about any way he wants. But the memory of Gregory Rodriguez and that absolute vaginal hole in his forehead is still alive in everyone's memory. I think that's what makes this line a minus 155. Guru, based on how this fight plays out, it might be a retrospective gift from the gods type of deal. Plus 110, Chitty and Njokuani by knockout. It's going to be a gunner submission plus money type of deal. You just got to play it.
Yeah, listen, this fight is almost kind of tough because at the same time you've watched somebody like Duraev start as a minus 400 favorite versus Kopylov, get a tough win, then go to minus 250 favorite versus Joaquin Buckley, get knocked down a couple times, and have his whole face swell up like he was trying to bud and become another person. So they stopped the fight in the second round there. And yeah, it's just kind of interesting. He's somebody that hasn't really been able to get his wrestling game going. Versus Kopylov kind of fell in love with the striking. As you see, he strikes the decent boxer in Kopylov. Goes 1 of 9 on his takedowns, goes 2 of 9 versus Buckley. Is really just kind of hurt by the time he's trying to shoot. So I've never really seen him commit to any of his wrestling. Has really been the biggest problem I've seen in his 2 fights. You'd think maybe on paper, or theoretically, that if he could get his wrestling going, that maybe he'd have a better shot here. I just don't necessarily see it per se. He seemed fairly dominant when he was on top of Kopylov with the one time he got it, right? He had 333 seconds of control time. Fairly mauling. And I don't think that Chitty is somebody that can get up or get up many times, right? He's very explosive. Gregory Rodriguez took him down. He sprung up immediately. But he, as you saw, 7 minutes into that fight, he's getting ground and pounded by Gregory Rodriguez because he's so exhausted and demoralized. So
he has shown that wrinkle for sure.
So if he gasses out versus Duraev trying to put him away and doesn't, Duraev somehow comes back, wrestles, ground and pound him. Either way, I like the under 1.5. Fight doesn't start round 3. I like violence here, and I certainly like it and lean from it from the Njokuani side with a 5-inch reach and 5-inch leg reach. But, dude, do not be surprised if Duraev somehow, some way finds a way to finish it. What do you think, Wiz?
Going into this week, the only scenario I saw in my head was Chitty first round knockout, because we've seen Duraev in his past fights show that if he does not get that wrestling working, the striking is horrible and the striking defense is even worse. And then I'm thinking of it and like I was trying to see both sides, thinking a bit more this week, watching the tape. And then you see the Njokuani gassing out towards the end of that Rodriguez fight. But the pace in that fight was just unrealistic. They were going after it. And he had RoboCop. He had him where he wanted him. I mean, I think the doctor could have stopped that fight. He should have stopped that fight, because we've seen cuts a little bit less gruesome than that end fights. I like the under 1.5. It is going to be a little bit of a sweat. There's a reason why it's minus 115. But I do think Chitty will either get him out of there in that first round, whether it's in the first couple of minutes, really hurting Duraev to the body, to the head. I think it's going to be that kind of sequence. Or I think Chitty will start the gas out towards the end of round 1 going into 2. And maybe Duraev can find an early submission. But to be honest, I haven't had any money laid on this fight yet. I'm still on the edge of my seat whether Chitty's price goes down a little bit more. Maybe I can get the money line. I don't know. I think Duraev more like decision equity here. But it's just I see all of the paths for Chitty to get that knockout in the first, just because Duraev is very hittable. So I'm predicting Chitty to win, but no money on it yet.
I feel exactly the same way. And not to mention, both of these guys at 34 years old, we are at best hoping for them to be as good as they were. They're not going to have some sort of Glover Teixeira type resurgence and be better than they've ever been before. It's not happening. So
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. And there's no way I'm playing shitty money line. I'll tell you that. I don't think he submits a guy like Duraev. Duraev has only ever lost by knockout. So go ahead. You could do round 1 or 2 knockout, round 1 knockout, shitty and under 1.5. But yeah, there's no reason to play his money line. That's for damn sure.
I'm just saying, why play either side if you could just get under 1.5 at pick'em, right? Like,
Yeah.
and just take like a tiny if you really are playing something. Like otherwise, I mean, I guess you
sweaty about this under 1.5.
There's something. What'd you say?
Yeah, I don't love 1.5.
Very sweaty. Like
They are very sweaty.
Yeah.
It's an arbitrary because it's just arbitrary number.
I dislike 1.5. I only like betting over unders when it's 2.5 or more, to be quite frank. I feel like there's a lot of sketchiness that happens every time unless I'm betting an over. If you're giving me an over 1.5 that I'm interested in, ooh, baby. But okay, yeah, not
all right. So, but I would maybe then look at the price at Fight Us and start round 3, which would be minus 190 on DraftKings. I could probably get a better price on FanDuel once they open it, but not great.
All right, so Daniel the Pitbull Pineda versus Tucker Lutz. Does he have a noteworthy nickname for us, Guru? I don't know about Tucker, man. But
Top Gun.
What was that? Top Gun. Oh shit.
Versus the Pit.
Top Gun versus the Pit. That's actually pretty good. I'm glad that I at least asked. Like Top Gun is at least like solid. Like Tucker, Top Gun, Lutz. That rolls off the tongue. Like it's a cool nickname, But yeah, anyways, I mean, as this fight goes down, it's either, I mean, listen, Daniel Pineda has never won a decision. Just straight off the bat. He has lost by decision, but he's never won one. So Tucker Lutz, he's at least won 4 decisions. There's someone that you can trust as this fight goes, But I got to tell you, like, he's so stiff. Tucker Lutz just like one of those dudes that lifted too much and never really focused on flexibility. It looks like when he strikes, seems like he throws a lot of his body into it, but like not in a good way. I don't know. Maybe against Pineda, it doesn't matter so much. I mean, really, his defense ain't great. He was on his way to getting knocked out against Feely before he got absolutely finger fucked in the eye. It was really bad, but at the same time, the dude was like halfway to being knocked out like 3 times in the first round. Herbert Burns has him dead to
Andre
rights.
Feely had never looked better.
No, never. So you got to give Pineda some credit. I mean, listen, he has a lot of success early against Cub Swanson, but you can't trust this guy's gas tank. If he can't get you out of there, then there's not really much. And listen, Herbert Burns' gas tank was somehow worse than Daniel Pineda's. But I just think, Tucker Lutz should at least have that part covered. He showed a solid initial takedown defense against Sabatini. He's got the high school wrestling background. Even though he's stiff, he's a solid enough striker. It's just, Pineda's got much more finishing equity. It's just, if anything, I would almost be like looking at like the Pineda finish only, because I think Lutz more as a decision winner in this fight than really being anything, special that I saw as far as, being able to actually hand a fight. Like if he was in that case, then he would have done it to Kevin Aguilar at that stage, quite frankly. And yes, he is quite underwhelming. Minus 280 for underwhelming Tucker Lutz. I'm not into that. Yeah, I'm just not. And that doesn't mean I'm picking Daniel Pineda, but I start getting interested in some props and some plus money stuff. I'm not gonna pick the guy that can't win a decision. But yeah, there could be some interest on the betting angle, huh? Finish only, maybe.
I was trying to come into this with some sort of angle on Daniel Pineda because, to be quite honest, the line on minus 280 Tucker Lutz is obviously egregious. You look at the guy, and he hasn't won a fight since 2021, and like you said, it's an underwhelming decision versus Kevin Aguilar. He has a fight versus Pat Sabatini where he refuses to stop grappling, doesn't try to get up, shows a complete inefficiency in how to do so. It was a total fish out of water sequence. for him, and then we haven't seen him since 2021. Where have you been, dude? What happened? So no clue. And then Daniel Pineda, kind of the same idea. We haven't seen him since he got poked in the eye nearly 2 years ago now. Like that's fucking crazy. Like 20 months ago. Like what happened to you, dog? So I just at 37 years old, and you look at who he's fought. Look what is happening here. His win is a loss to Andre Feely.
Right.
Herbert Burns, not Gilbert. Herbert Burns, who was terrible. I love the picture of Gilbert carrying him out. Justin Lawrence, Mickens, Schmeisen, and Pat Schilling, who are like what? And then his look at the losses. 2012, Mike Brown. No, that's the Mike Brown. Dustin Poirier's coach. Like that's Mike Brown. Okay. Antonio Cavallo, Diego Brandao. Like what? You're losing to Diego Brandao and Robert Whiteford. What are we talking about?
Is he back on the shoes?
He has a win against Mecken Simmers here.
No, he's whatever I read his name as before. That's just ridiculous.
Shamalama Dingo.
It must be the last fight on his deal, right? How has he still got a contract?
Christ almighty.
Anyway, I've ranted enough. I don't like this fight. Don't bet it. I think that's crazy. If Tucker Lutz looks really good, maybe you bet like Tucker Lutz over 1.5, like with some grandma's couch cushion, because I don't even think he finishes him. At least early.
Wiz?
If any of you guys lay chalk on Tucker Lutz, I have a serious issue with you. I have questions because who is Tucker Lutz? Like, where are the impressive wins? Come on now. I know it's Daniel Pineda, but oh my God. I can't. This fight is, and I don't say this a lot about any fights, but this one is just going to be me looking away and, just admiring the weather. I don't care for this fight. I think it's going to be boring. I think Tucker Lutz is just going to win a decision. It's going to be a split decision probably. So maybe bet the split decision props.
Majority decision. You know what? I got a prop for you. Are you ready? Are you actually ready?
I'm ready. Let's
call up Lou. It's Yambag time. These guys haven't fought in forever. Somebody's gonna do something illegal. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Groin kicks, eye pokes, grab that cage, bite, do who cares?
Grab that cock.
Grab the referee.
Only way I can justify this line is the age difference, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Like
that's it.
9-year age advantage for Tucker Lutz, but at the same time, it's like okay, I get it. He's better when it's the pace, but is Tucker Lutz good? Is Tucker Lutz a -280 favorite?
No.
Nah, -280 favorites you lay on people that have proven things to you in the UFC, not on just random facts. Oh, he's 9 years younger. He's winning. It doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I think Tucker Lutz wins the decision, but it's just not something that is smart to put in a parlay or to even go straight on because would you? It's pretty much asking yourself this question: would you trust money being in Tucker Lutz's hands? Well, what has he proven? So just take a chill break, take a break, take a smoke break on this one, a drink break.
Listen, man, I'm parlaying Giannis Santos and Tucker Lutz, and you cannot stop me. The value
Santos is an underdog, dude.
No, that's
an underdog.
Why would you parlay though? It's so stupid.
Oh God.
So funny.
Yeah. So ultimately, what everyone should be doing. This is a puff pass spot. That's it. That's it. You're take 2
Are you
hits.
encouraging
pass it
drug
along.
use to the young listeners?
I'm part of the DARE education, children. Drug abuse and resistance
Listen, hey,
education.
but for real, on some real shit, Tucker Lutz and over 1.5 is plus 130, and you know that I'm a slut for some plus money. I actually think that's kind of schmexy.
I will have to lay money on Daniel Pineda. It's going to be a
What
sickness
are
issue.
you talking about? Why did that happen? Wait, say something.
All right. So,
God, speak to this man.
Right, I'm trying. Please. Somebody.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
Wiz,
man.
you see what I have to deal with on the daily, right?
I have a sickness. What can I tell you? I have low T.
Have they found a cure yet?
Nah, it's Nugenics. Frank Thomas will tell you all about it.
Listen, we'll take a Blue Chew sponsor. Let's go. And TB will be the guinea pig.
Fuck.
So let's go.
All right.
Have you ever struggled getting your betting numbers up?
Yeah. Yes. That's me. Oh god.
That's perfect.
Oh god. Oh man, we're gonna make a commercial.
We will have to
man.
if we want
God.
a sponsor.
So anyways, all right. Oh man. So all right. So we got. Oh fuck! It sounds fake, but we got Steve Peterson versus Lucas. I shouldn't be here, Alexander. Fuck, man. I mean,
How are you gonna say that about the Amanda Hebos's boy? They're
Steven Ocho
homies.
Peterson. What's the deal behind that nickname? Do you know? Is he like the 8th child? Like, what's going on?
I thought it was Superman because he had the Superman.
But why Ocho? What does that have to do with?
Ask him. What the fuck do you want me to do?
I don't know. Anyways, Lucas Alexander. I mean, he's one of those guys that just got signed on like 3 or 4 days' notice because the UFC needed a replacement. Then they give him 2 or 3 more fights to lose to other people, and he washes out of the UFC. No.
Well, he beat Jacob Kilburn, UFC vet, on Anthony Pettis FC1.
Yeah, but you wash out of fucking UFC and you're not a real good fighter like Kilburn who takes a lot of damage. That dude should have been knocked out 3 different times against Lingo. So yeah, I'm not surprised he gets knocked out on the regional scene. Lucas Alexander also won 4 decisions on the regional scene. He's also been submitted 3 times, 2 of those on the regional scene. Guru, you told me earlier. Don't back it off now. Don't back off now, Guru.
No, you're right. He came in on short notice to replace Melsik Bogdasarian for Joe Anderson Britu, and that was a total mismatch, and it showed very quickly. He has no real grappling defense if you can actually get him down, because other than his athleticism, because he's tall, lanky, strong, athletic, and otherwise, other than if you can get past that, which I'm not sure Steve Peterson can, at least with the takedown offense. You can fuck him up. But if you just want to sit there and strike with him, it's going to be a very interesting barn burner type fight for kind of no reason. So, I don't know. I like Steve Peterson because I think Lucas Alexander is, we can maybe throw up the banner. Like, I think he's legitimate, like fraud alert type city. He beats Jacob Kilburn in round 2 via injury in a fight that was like pretty terrible. And, you watch him fight Ty Johnson and Reginald Mack over on Combat Night on YouTube, and you're not seeing anything there at all. I mean, he's fighting the fucking blockbuster guy, and he's fighting the fucking garbage man. I mean, the dude literally looks like he runs GameStop. Did you see what Ty Johnson looks like, man? He's got blue hair. He misses his first strike and like starts scooting in like it's a jiu-jitsu tournament. He's like starting to pull guard. He's just swinging at him. It's like the most ridiculous fight. Yeah, he is. It's total fraud alert. So I'm on Peterson, but anybody in 4-ounce gloves swinging wildly can get it done. So that's why you can't take Peterson at this number. But I think it's fraud alert. Wiz, what do you got for me? Everybody.
Fraud alert.
Yes, you agree with me. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Steven Peterson is the rightful side here. Even in the loss to Julian Erosa, he looked great. He looked good. And it was a split. It was close. Striking's pretty wild, but it's fun to watch. It makes it for that barn burner type of vibe, as you were saying earlier. I think he'll win the striking battle here, and he does have a legitimate chance of putting Lucas Alexander out. I'm just not impressed with this Alexander kid. Still has a lot of holes in his game, especially in the striking, and I struggle to see where he wins here, where he wins minutes. He'll probably gas out towards the end of the second round, and Steve Peterson's gonna just lay it on him. Steve Ochos.
Yeah, I really hope he gets it fucking done, man. But and if you do, and I saw Anthony in the comments, if you're really trying to gauge how he is, again, you can watch his last 2 fights on YouTube. Not great watches. What's up, Tajik? Thanks for popping in, bud. And other than that, look at the records of the guys he's fought. Right, I'll start with the debut. Ready? 2-1, 0-0, 5-2, 5-3, 6-7-1, 3-2, 3-1, 5-4. The 8-5 Jacob Kilburn is the best record. And you know how bad is it?
If you French fry when you're supposed to pizza, you're gonna have a bad day.
I love that quote, Mushroom. I literally say that all the time, and nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. I
love it,
dude. Are you coming to CFFC next week, dude? Is that happening? Is that a thing?
Who, Wiz or me?
I mean, you better be coming.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
I'm talking to Mushroom.
Oh, Mushroom.
The fuck, Mushroom? You just in the chat? No.
Oh fuck.
Is anyone going to PFL 1?
Where's that? In Atlanta?
Vegas.
Fuck that, dude.
So, all right. Little word to the wise, my dog. I think you'll be good, but we had gotten credentialed last summer for PFL 7. And then when they had the PFL championships, they overbooked media and they canceled like at least 20 people's credentials on Thanksgiving, including ours.
The day before.
I think you'll be good because it's not like the championship week and it's not in New York City, but just as a heads up, like for mental preparations.
I will throw a fit.
Yeah.
They didn't give a fuck about people booking accommodations and stuff. Other people have done it for New York City.
Yeah.
And they pulled it the day before.
Yeah. I ended up speaking with their head of PR and shit though. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, as we move along here from our and Steve Peterson versus fucking Julian Erosa, that's definitely an 8 or 9 out of 10 on the fights you got to show your friends who don't watch MMA.
Yeah, that was sick.
So next,
by the way, one last thing.
What?
Peterson's missed weight his last 2 times in a row at featherweight.
Yes.
I don't know how he got a third fight at featherweight. Anybody thinks he's actually going to make weight? Because I do not think he will make weight. So, another reason why you really.
It's another question. Will Alex Perez show? Will Steve Peterson wait?
That's it. Will Trevin Giles pass out backstage before the fight?
Tune in on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z.
So we got Trevin Giles versus Preston Parsons, and I think we actually had pretty solid nickname. It was Preston Pressure Parsons, PPP.
Oh God! And Trevin, I used to be a cop. Giles.
Trevin.
The problem.
Trevin, I'm a 0 out of 10 on the scale of show your friends my fights if you want them to get into the UFC.
Literally. That is your best fake nickname you've done. Congratulations.
Yeah, so now as I'm cashing out my jackpot, we got Trevin fucking Giles, man. Trevin fucking Giles. There's one thing that's for sure. He's not going to put a pace on you. There's another thing that's for sure. Even if he's winning the fight, he's liable to just take my neck away. Gerald, the one way he could win that fight, Mearshart, decided, hey, wait a second, Trevin's giving me this right? 0 fight IQ. And, oh, fuck, man, that should have been good on you for playing Marvin Vettori decision, because I was the one who didn't realize that Trevin Giles beating Roman Dolidze should have been the biggest red flag that there could possibly ever be. But Trevin Giles is also like 6-4 in the UFC, so maybe I got to chill out like the lightest bit. But also at the end of the day, it's just like this guy, what he's throwing 7 strikes per minute at distance. That's fucking terrible. Like, well, what is there to get excited about? He's got 64% defense. Yeah, but he still managed to get knocked the fuck out by Dricus du Plessis. If you're a technical striker, that doesn't happen, okay? Brad Tavares doesn't get knocked out. So, Preston Parsons, you've got all the opportunities in the world here, kid. But this guy's also been finished 3 times in his career. And Trevin Giles did have kind of like somewhat deep arm triangle in against Michael Morales. So it's like, Preston, if you can survive a sketchy moment or two throughout the fight, it's all yours, buddy. Just don't gas out. Don't let yourself be the guy that gets finished by Trevin Giles, please. But the fact that you've been finished on all 3 of your losses is kind of what scares me. But his last win showed that, he can get it done over the distance. So I'm going to trust him here. -110, I'll take a chance on Presty.
No, and so you got to give some context to some of these finishes, right? His first career loss is his 3rd career fight. He gets knocked out in round 1. But who's it to? Mike Platinum Perry. What a random 3rd fight. What are the chances? Wow. Then you're fighting a guy I don't know, and that's fair, but he's a 5-1 guy fighting a 16-7 grizzled vet. Chokes him out in round 2. It's fine. And then you get your ticket to the UFC fighting up a weight class against Daniel fucking Rodriguez. And you go out there and you fight your ass off like a beast. And you go out on your shield because you're a man. And you're a big man. That's savage shit. And then you come out versus Evan Elder, who turns out you saw it in that fight, and then you saw it again in his next fight. Another savage fucking beast, exciting fighter, right? Was winning that fight on the scorecards versus Nazim till the cut took Evan Elder out in his most recent fight. But you see him lose to Preston Parsons in another similar fight. I believe that fight was like close to pick him as well. And he was a slight favorite. So I don't know why Parsons isn't more of a favorite here. But that's certainly where I'm going. I don't like Trevin Giles at all. I respect to Trevin Giles. I'd probably get a beer with him, whatever. I've never liked his fighting or whatever. Like he's just never. I'm not a fan at all. So no chance I'm getting on him here. So unless, look at those grappling stats, man. Lots of green for Preston. What do you think, Wiz?
I'm on the same exact. I think Preston Parsons here is going to be the minute winner. I mean, you see he lands 3.19 takedowns per 15 minutes. I know the efficiency is at 40% and that Trevin Giles has a 70% takedown defense, but who's the takedown artist that he's faced in the UFC? I'm not saying that Preston Parsons is a takedown artist by any means, but the guy is very strong. And yeah, look at it. Louis Cosi, not a takedown specialist. Michael Morales, not really. Dricus du Plessis, man's gasping for air. He wants to stay on his feet. If he tries to grapple,
went 50-50, and he went 50-50 anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So you just gotta favor Preston Parsons here with the takedown numbers. That's one thing. So you can rely on him to win minutes. In the striking, I think Preston Parsons is pretty serviceable. He has the power to hurt people on the feet. And yeah, sure, maybe he overwhelms them with the striking and then he gets taken down immediately. That's Preston Parsons' game. He'll work around it. I don't know why I'm not a bigger favorite. I'm in that same boat. I already have a moneyline bet on Preston Parsons. So let's go pressure Parsons.
Yeah, I think it's a really sizable play. But, dude, you don't understand, man. Trevin Giles has elite takedown defense. Don't you see? Bevion Lewis went 0 for 6 on his takedowns. He can stop down. He can stop anybody. He's an impenetrable wall. Like, come on, man. These things blow up those stats. So, come on. Let's go PPP.
James Boknovic landed 5.
Oh, God.
No, he landed 5 versus James Boknovic. Boknovic went 0 for 1. That's another one that you can think.
Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. I see, because I
do that. Dude, I didn't even know. I don't know who that is. I don't know that fight existed. TB does all the stats, so shout out TB. And Wiz, I make that mistake all the time. So I always have to trip up. What's worst, listen to this. I will bother TB at work, texting him, dude, and I'm freaking out about it, an angle on something. And he's like, dude, I'm at work, and can you like read the fucking stat? It's wrong. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've only been working with these stats for a year.
So that's a little snapshot of what TV deals with on the daily.
At least I'm self-aware.
Yeah, hey, you're doing a lot better with that. I got to give you props for props to do, you know? So, yeah, hey, payroll protection plan, PPP, Preston pressure Parsons. The least I can tell you is don't bet on Trevor Giles. Nice fight. We got CJ Vergara. I'll spare him a bad nickname because he's just not doing it for me. Versus Daniel Miojo Lacerda, who also had De Silva somewhere in his name. I don't know if it was before Lacerda, after Lacerda, but we're going Daniel Lacerda now, apparently. So that's also that. And listen, I mean, fuck it, man. I'm on Daniel Lacerda. Fuck CJ Vergara. He's not that good. He has no actual finishing equity. And if this fight's going under 1.5, it's Daniel Lacerda doing it. Spinning back fist or triangle submission. Fuck it. Plus 200 is not playable. Don't actually play his money line. You have to do round one only. Like, just be smart about it. But like, I can't play CJ Vergara, and I can't play him as minus 240. I can't do it. And Guru, go ahead and say whatever you want about me, okay?
Oh, all right. Are we all ready? You did say one thing there that made any sense, and here it is. If you like Daniel Lacerda, and you are crazy for it, you have to play him in round one. That's it. There's no money line. There's no round two. There's no by finish. You play him by round one. That's what you play him at. With that being said, he's not winning. It's not happening. CJ Vergara is a guy that has shown that he's got that dog in him. I can't again. Do I agree with you? Is minus 240 in this economy? I agree. 100%. But that's what you do. You take this economy and you take that economy and you parlay it together, and then you get something you afford and you go a little light. This guy's going to get it done. Victor Altamirano had 1 KO going into the Daniel Lacerda fight. Just one. Guess what happened? He ground and pounded Daniel Lacerda in round 1 KO. That's his 2nd KO ever. Even Vergara coming into the UFC, coming into this fight has 6 knockouts? And he's shown that he's got Randy Marsh balls. Comes into Dana White contender
those
series.
boobs or balls?
Well, I mean, you
gotta get up, good.
I'm not. You want me to stand up? I'm not gonna stand up.
Well, I was confused.
I know you would be.
What am I?
I didn't. I went down here. What? You know what, man? What do you know? You don't know nothing about anything about that. You know what I'm saying? He comes into Dana White. He comes into Dana White Contender Series, gets that sub 1 minute knockout. Why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can get the knockout. He's got no durability, no fight IQ, and no chutzpah, nothing. He doesn't got it, man. I like him because he's kind of exciting and funny. He's a young guy, but like, no, it's not happening. So unless Vergara has a bad weight cut, no. What you got? You got something different, Wiz?
No, I just think CJ Vergara is going to be able to outlast him, whether it's under 1.5 or it goes over. I think in the first, it could be chaos for Vergara. If he makes it out of the first round, you better max bet that money line. I just think CJ Vergara has the cardio edge crazy here. And if he wants to win this fight, path of least resistance, take the guy down over and over, let him get up and take him down again, wear on that gas tank, and then in round 2 he can just put a pace on him and destroy him, get him out of there. So I don't like the over or the under. It's going to be tough to say whether he tries to outpace him or whether he genuinely just tries to get him out of there in the first round. I think Vergara wins this fight pretty handedly, but no value on the money line. It's another person who is better as a nail lifter.
Hear me out. Daniel Lacerda gets a back take on Jeff Molina. CJ Vergara, his 2 finish losses are by submission. Daniel Lacerda spinning back fist into back take for a rear naked choke. Let's fucking go.
No. And dude, can you just give
God.
can you wait a minute? Can you just give CJ Vergara some credit? Look at his losses. Again, he's fighting Fury FC, 4th fight ever in his career. Who does he run into? Jonathan fucking Martinez. And what happens? Shocker, he loses a split fucking decision. Classic Jonathan Martinez even before he makes it to the UFC. Then you've got fucking a tough loss, it's fair, to a guy named Devin Miller. Whatever. A rear naked choke happens early in his career. He gets his life together, comes to the UFC, loses to Ode Osborne a decision. That guy is huge. Nobody expected him to win, but shows an account of himself. Then he loses to Tatsuro Taira. Unbelievable prospect. By armbar in round 2. So he survives Tatsuro, who's, again, unbelievable, and then gets subbed. Like, come on, man. Ode, Tatsuro, Jonathan Martinez, 3 of his 4 losses. You know who doesn't fit? Daniel Lacerda.
Well, what was the 4th loss?
Dude, come on. Mistakes happen. What do you mean?
Come on. All right. Well, listen, man.
This isn't boxing.
Listen, all I'll say is in this economy, you're gonna tell me about
you
CJ
parlay her and him and Macy Barber.
In
together.
This economy, you're gonna do under 1.5 at -195. I'm more apt to take over 1.5 at +160 if you think CJ Vergara is going to win.
Parlay
CJ Vergara and over 1.5 is the only thing that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
CJ.
Can somebody, who are you? How is that?
Where is the damage from CJ at a high level?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
You may hate the man that's saying it, but I'm right.
No, you're not. It's who he's fighting. The guy doesn't have cardio. The guy doesn't take damage well. He goes down. He gets hurt. He plays from his back. What are you talking about?
Something just tells me that his cardio is like a little bit improved. I think he maybe took some time and where he worked on it. Who knows? Who knows?
You got those Flintstone vitamins.
Feeling that this over 1.5 is the play. It's the bet, but.
You like it? Over
1.5 +160.
Yeah.
Like I said before.
You know what? If Jordan Wright can go to the distance, that could happen.
Yeah. And who called that shit? TB Scouting MMA. Jordan Wright over 1.5. Jordan Wright fight goes the distance. I said the same fucking shit.
Well, I guess it's possible. I don't hate it. But you
hate it. I know. It's okay.
But you're playing it. But I still like CJ Vergara by KO more, whatever that's going to come out as a little couch cushion play. And I just like CJ Vergara in general because again, you parlay him who's going to win with somebody like Macy Barber who really should probably get the job done.
Yeah,
in this economy,
right?
No, but like little plays. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Bro, Panda Express play is like $16 now. Come on.
Yeah, fuck, man. You can. Not everyone gets those TV scouting MMA meals, Guru. Come on.
Listen, not every fight. Listen, bro, not every fight is Preston Parsons, man. You're not always gonna find great value. Sometimes you just kind of got to make it work. I didn't realize my little cat got here. He's here.
So Manuel El Loco Torres versus Trey the Samurai Ghost Ogden. Did that motherfucker play Ghost of Tsushima or something? What the fuck is that nickname about?
I don't know what that nickname is about.
Because he's not Japanese, right?
He's
can confirm. He actually owns Glory MMA and just changed the name to something else once fucking
he co-owned it with him, and then he's like, what the fuck, dude?
So talk about making bad decisions in your life. And what is like he was just cleared of all this shit? Like he's cool, but no one else was?
But dude, think about it. If James Krause literally hid it from him all somehow, like that's crazy.
No, but he didn't hide it from anybody. Anyways, Trey Ogden, you lost the stand-up battle to Jordan Levitt. So I'm going to hold that against you when you're facing someone with real finishing potential, Emmanuel Torres. I will say Frank Camacho landed like 1 or 2 more shots than what I'd like to see. But when you're throwing 60 strikes, there's a good chance your opponent might land 14 out of 29 if you're going that crazy. And listen, Manuel Torres is out of Entrim Gym. You know he's been in some fucking battles in the gym down there. And his 2 losses have been by submission. So I get it. There could be some trepidation when it comes to Trey Ogden, who has 11 wins by submission. But the fact of the matter is, you're fighting fucking in James Krause's FAC promotion, no? Is that not where he's winning a bunch of these fucking I know he's in LFA. I know he's in Fury FC, but like,
no,
who's he fighting on the regional scene that he's getting 11 subs?
No, dude, but can you just be like, first off, I'm not sitting here and trying to say that Trey Ogden is the return of John Bones Johnson. He's going to be the best fight ever. But like, dude, Manuel Torres, I have no idea what this guy is doing here. I'm ready to throw up the banner again for fraud alert.
Oh, God.
But
are you ready?
Are you ready? Listen, this guy is absolutely insanely athletic, good striker, and throws absolute bombs, throws everything into his strikes. But I'm telling you, that's it. If he doesn't knock you out in round 1 or submit you in round 1 after hurting you, dude, look who he's fought. First off, here's these records. I'm reading Tapology. You ready? 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, 3-1. Not available. Can't click on the guy's Tapology. Not available. Can't click on the guy's Tapology. 6-2, 14-5. Loses to an 8-7. Beats a 2-0. Loses to a 6-0. Beats 12-2. Beats 10-11. 9-3. Now he beats Frank Camacho, 22-9. Really well, that's an impressive record. It just goes to show you that even sometimes within a quote unquote 22-9, not even the worst record you ever saw, it's Frank Camacho. Guy has no chin. So when that fight gets booked and he gets knocked out in round 1 because Frank's going to be willing to stand there and can't get this beefcake down in the first couple minutes,
that's it.
He's going to sleep.
No,
but let's just be real.
Hater alert.
Trey Ogden could get starched round 1. So I'm okay with you playing Torres round 1 or maybe round 2. But that's it.
Right.
You play the round 1, round 2 grouping, or you play the round 1 prop. But that's really it. I swear, anything past that, it's Daniel Zellhuber fight all over again. I promise you. Trey Ogden is a smart fighter, decent enough fighter, not a very good striker at all leg kicks and jiu-jitsu, but like decent enough to maybe eke out a decision if this guy gasses out in 5 minutes. But otherwise, he might get finished for the first time in his career.
I'm calling hater alert because you bet Daniel Zellhuber at -350.
I made a mistake.
And you're salty.
Well, I'm learning.
And you're salty, but I don't think.
How am I calling? I called fraudulent on Manuel Torres, not Trey Ogden. How am I a hater?
No, so what? Because you're hating on the guy that's probably just going to smoke Trey Ogden in round 1 this fight.
Trey Ogden. What do you? How is that?
No, you picked Daniel Zellhuber.
I'm picking Trey Ogden now. What are you?
I'm saying you're being a hater against Manuel Torres.
I watched it. What do you mean? I just read you his fucking. I didn't do anything.
I'm just saying I don't think Trey Ogden's that good.
He's not, but if it goes anywhere past 5 minutes, it's over for Manuel Torres.
Right, but I don't think it goes past 5 minutes. I think Trey Ogden's 4 losses on the regional scene, 3 by sub and 1 by decision. He might just get subbed by this guy after he gets knocked down.
He probably does in round 1. So that's
once again, hater alert. Like I said, I don't have to say what I want. I'm calling you a hater.
Wiz, what you got?
Does anybody agree with him about me being a hater? Or am I just being real?
Wiz, what you got?
This is a tough fight. I'm just going to be honest because I see both of your guys' points, and I agree. First round is going to be all Manuel Torres, but this guy's only been out of the first round once in 13 fights. So it's like you can't really – we just don't know. Is he going to last? And Trey Ogden is someone that can last. I think he has a decent gas tank. He's never been knocked out. So I struggle to see how Manuel Torres gets him out in the first round because his primary weapon is the striking, and he has the power. Now, I think Manuel is probably the best striker Trey Ogden has faced. I know Zellhuber probably is a better striker, but you know what I mean. He came out with those UFC jitters and didn't really throw much. So I just struggle to see Manuel Torres getting this done. So I don't think he's the money line side. I think if you want to take him, you have to take him round 1, and that's it. Otherwise, Trey Ogden, dog or pass situation here. He can get it done anywhere, whether it's by knockout after he gasses out or submission. And he also has a decision equity. So I would lay money or I would take the plus money with Trey Ogden, but I'm not going to take the money with the plus money with Trey Ogden. I think I'm just going to enjoy this from a viewer's perspective.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. No hater alert.
No
You put the hater alert on yourself, ho.
Scary. Yeah, well, I get it. But I think Trey's already done the bust the parlay thing one time. I don't think it happens this one. I think we're going back to the well, and we shouldn't.
Who's parlaying Manuel Torres? What are you talking about?
What?
Minus 150. I don't think I can parlay.
No.
That's what I just said. Thank you. Dude, Wiz and I are the same. Are we becoming best friends? We're literally saying the exact same shit right now. What are you talking about, bro? Who's parlaying Manuel Torres right now? If you're not playing Manuel Torres by finish, you're a fucking goofy. If that's who you like, that's who you like.
Don't pick KO or sub. Just do Manuel Torres round 1.
Right.
Why not just take the over 1.5?
I like that's where it's going.
That's
because Manuel Torres is not getting the round 1 finish because he hasn't been KO'd before. You're gonna have to really hurt him bad on the feet, and then either ground and pound him or submit him. And I'm just not sure that Manuel Torres will do it. And I think it's also a bigger cage this time, right?
2 round 1 guillotine losses to Thomas Gifford in 2017 and 2018.
Yeah, that's really poor.
So if you get hurt to the head and you shoot for a takedown and get gillied by this guy that's got 6 submissions, it's not impossible. But I get your point. To be fair, unless you get a really good number on it, it should just be a puff pass. There should be no flag planting here. And there should be no hater alerts. Tone it down. So we got our next fight.
I just really don't like weighing. I don't understand how you. It's really dog or pass. I don't see how you can lay chalk on a completely unproven Manuel Torres.
Damn it! Fuck. Fair enough. I will listen when spoken to.
We have another fight here with almost an identical breakdown. How fun!
Yes.
No, yes, exactly. I was almost on the Vinicius side because you're like you said earlier, TB. I was salty because I was stupidly on Shannon Ross, but Shannon Ross, unfortunately for you, also fraud alert. And then Vinicius Salvador. Yeah, you're kind of groovy and crazy and long and lanky, and you swing like a motherfucker. But dude, fraud alert. If you fight anybody with decent fucking defense here, with decent striking, who maybe will even be able to take you down, use some of his grappling, which he's refused to use, he said, or hasn't used yet, looking to use it more. At plus 100, I don't understand why he's the dog here at all. This is total recency bias craziness to me. I went first here, so what do you guys think? I like Victor Altamirano here.
I've been a Vinicius Salvador hater since his Dana White Contender Series debut. I picked against him there. I was gonna. Who was he scheduled to fight in his first fight before it got canceled? Because I had a feeling.
Lacerda.
Oh fuck!
Right, so they were giving him a layup. Although you probably would have picked Lacerda. Not for him.
Well, that's not. Listen, if you're willing to get into a crazy striking battle, Victor Altamirano gets dropped in round 1 versus Daniel Lacerda. If he didn't use the body work, he would have been in serious fucking trouble that fight. Those knees to the body, the kicks. Altamirano, he switches stances. He's a little tricky. And he's one of those guys where it's his awkward style can do some stuff. But let's remember, to a bunch of other points here, is that he's not really a prolific finisher in that sense. He had 5 decisions and 5 finishes on the regional scene. Altamirano goes to decision with Candelario. So, yes, I get it. The Like the point we talked about earlier. Yeah, finishing Lacerda round 1. Like, listen, Vergara, if you don't finish him round 1, I'm not impressed, okay? But at the end of the day, Altamirano, I don't expect him to necessarily get like a fast finish in this spot. And I think if he goes into this matchup with the same type of striking approach he took against Lacerda, it's stupid because Lacerda is a really good offensive grappler and can hunt for some submissions. Defensively, we saw he has some serious holes against the Figgy man. But Victor Altamirano, he's got some serious grappling. And he said, you know what? I'm more of a grappler. I really want to test my stand-up against Lacerda. And for him, it actually kind of made sense in that fight. Against Salvador, you're a fucking idiot if you're going to test your stand-up here. And sure, he may be tricky enough to kind of like land some crazy stuff like Brandon Royval style. But Salvador would win the striking battle in this fight if it takes place that way. Altamirano needs to get his grappling going. And if it's going to be a plus money spot, I'm going to have to take a shot.
Dude, but like how long can Salvador actually strike like that for?
I mean, he gets a 3rd round knockout against fucking Shannon Ross, no? Second
Who had his appendix bursted in that fight? He had a ruptured appendix during the fight, and he couldn't finish the dude that was literally out on his feet. And he had a
knockout
7-inch reach advantage.
Loss to Jafel Fieldhill. That's
who stinks.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
think that bad. He seems like a decent. I don't know. You got to win, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, listen, man, I'm on your side here. I'm just saying Salvador is going to be better in the stand-up than Altamirano.
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe the wrestling threat and the grappling threat.
Did we let Wizz go yet?
No, it's Wizzy time.
That's insane. That's literally crazy.
Fucking crazy.
You're crazy.
I mean, I kind of give it away with me saying that it's a very similar breakdown. I think it's either Vinicius Salvador round 1 or Victor Altamirano any other way. Pretty much round 2 decision. It's going to be that same exact breakdown as the last fight where Vinicius Salvador is a very powerful striker, but for how long? That's the thing. And Altamirano, decent durability. I kind of lean towards the Altamirano side here. I think he's going to outbox him. And I mean, I don't see the finishing potential. So I'm going to say decision.
Right. I guess the only difference in this fight is that I feel like Altamirano's much more dangerous grappler than Ogden is. And I think his size is also the thing that makes me go closer to Altamirano here rather than the last fight. But I do agree, stylistically, I feel like one gets it done and one doesn't. So I'm flip-flopping here, but you boys seem to be sticking to the analysis to where you got on your picks here.
Yeah. I leaned the Altamirano in the over, just like I leaned the same way in the fight before with Trey Ogden in the over.
I like that. So let's
talk about this fight in literally 30 seconds or less, because I would just simply say don't bet it, don't do it. But if you had to, I'm leaning dog with Vidal, and by finish, IG information, Cowan pulled out from her last fight with her ass whooping she was going to receive from Ali Perez because what did she do, TB? She had a ruptured cyst in ovarian cyst. So I mean, that God bless. I really hope she's okay. I assume that she is, because she's fighting 4 weeks later, 3 weeks later.
Really, there's like tinfoil hat. It's like either that wasn't really happening and they didn't want her to face Eileen Perez, so they took the one fucking person that was getting dogged by Eileen Perez until a fucking DQ, and then faced Ramona Pascual, and honestly was getting dogged by Ramona Pascual. Like, Ramona landed every single strike that she threw against her, and until she throws this jumping double knee that lands in the fucking perfect... Tamires Vidal was going to lose that fight to Ramona Pascual, and I can't in right mind put any money on her, nor can I put money on the woman that had a ruptured cyst in her ovaries.
How about an under for no reason, plus 260?
Fuck yes, give it to me. That's crazy, just crazy enough.
You just said for no reason. For no reason. Dude, under in this fight. No.
Haley Cowan's just going to hold her against the fence for 15 minutes.
Oh
Yeah,
my
no,
God.
fuck this. So fuck this fight because listen,
Wiz, if
Wiz,
the under happens,
yeah.
I don't know. You got to do something for me. I don't know what it is yet.
What's your
I'm gonna
favorite
pick
bets
something.
on this card, guys? What's your favorite bets on this card?
Oh
I
my
like
God.
Cory
you had to
Sandhagen
say.
money line.
Favorite
Guru.
bet.
If you had to say just something, nice little taste on something that you really definitely think about laying here.
Yeah, definitely Cory Sandhagen money line.
Nice.
Manel
I
Kape
like-
inside the distance. Those two.
Yes, Manel
Yeah.
Kape money line, Preston Parsons money line are definitely my two favorites.
Nice. And for me, I'm I gotta say I got the Cheeto money line. And we're also, I mean, there's no sense to play the money line before the fight, but I gotta pick Cheeto. But best bet, fucking man, we're gonna put Macy Barber together with Manel Kape and say fuck this shit. We're going to the moon, baby.
What? No, you're
Little
not.
2-leg parlay.
No, you're not. That's insane.
Andrea KGB Lee goes down.
This man is cooking.
I mean, you're probably right, but
In this economy, man. In this economy, you got to take some chances.
Why would you? No, 'cause like I said, you parlay Macy Barber to CJ Vergara. Manel Kape is a way higher confidence level. No fucking chance.
Yeah. I'm letting my haterade get in the way, but hey, I appreciate all you guys so much, and the least you can do, we love you. Maybe throw a little like on the video, that would be hot, and then subscribe to the channel, please. Like all free.
Most important, when we got to start saying this too, and I hope it's not too much. When you subscribe, make sure you turn your alerts on because it'll remind you when we're going. Because next week, no fight.
Mm-hmm.
No fights next week, but we come back in 2 weeks. UFC 287. Oh my goodness. The return. It's been 6 months again already.
Oh, baby.
The champion, Alex Pereira, defending his middleweight title against the challenger, Israel the Stylebender, Adesanya. Going to be an absolutely bonkers card. So make sure you tune in to hear those.
Wait. And you guys remember? Wait, this is nostalgia right here. First time on the show, it was the first fight. Adesanya Pereira won.
Wow.
And I had two fine gentlemen try to talk me into that Adesanya side.
Oh, come on. We were so close.
If they give me dog money on Pineda this time, I'm with you, my man. He's got his fucking number.
Wiz, in 2 weeks, be in 2 weeks, Wiz, be in the chat for the main card breakdown so we can hear what you got to say.
I'm just gonna say Pereira over and over and over again.
Oh my God, no!
At least 100 comments.
You know what? I gotta be honest. Maybe it's a little giveaway. Maybe I'll feel differently in 2 weeks. But like after learning what I learned about Kamaru and having somebody's number and how much that matters, bro. Like and
you gotta do it.
and how the recent like how the public and shit probably still just has that number still being favorite, but fuck, man, he won. He was winning, bro. He almost knocked him out at the end of that round, bro.
Dude, that fight, if that that little wobble at the end of round 1 didn't happen, it would have been 2-2 going into the 5th, in my honest opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the only reason Adesanya won round 1.
Mm-hmm.
It was very close. I edged it to Pereira until that. Otherwise, that's 2-2. Who looked fresher in that 5th? That power. I felt this man's presence. That motherfucker put chills down my spine. This man's scary. He has his number. And all I'm going to say, you give me dog money again, I don't give a fuck. Give me Pereira.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, Guru, take us away, baby.
Wiz, you got to come out to AC or something. We got to do something crazy. One of these times.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude.
Hell yeah.
I'm always down.
We'll
plan it out.
Something this summer or something crazy. But listen, guys, everybody take care. Wiz has got to get out of here. We did it all, seen it all. An hour and 45 is certainly plenty. You guys all take care. Please follow my amazing co-host at TB Scouting MMA, Twitter Verdict, Instagram Typology, Guru Scouting MMA, the Guru, not the MMA Guru, the weird douchebag on YouTube. It is me, the Chill Guru, right here, your homes. Chronic Combat. Follow us. Take care. See you in 2 weeks. Wiz, thank you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. This has been fun. I'm looking forward to doing this again.
Very soon, bud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.